Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another day of BA Agile Scrum. Before we begin, welcome again, everyone, for joining in after a really long vacation for you. We'll begin with the quick reminder, and this reminder is for you to know that what exactly is expected from you. We'll begin first of all, as you know, that Agile is full of ceremonies, full of what, everyone?
Ceremonies.
Yes, thank you for confirming. By this, I know that you am audible as well. Thank you for your responses. So, Agile is full of ceremonies, and ceremonies demand you to show up live first, and be it offline or online, you need to show up live in every ceremonies. And when I say ceremonies, it means what? Ceremonies means what, everyone? What do you understand by ceremony?
Meetings.
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 Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Thank you. And you show up live there as an agilist, and you remain to be on time, remain punctual, remain highly committed. In case you are not practitioner of it, consider this training itself as a project, and once you repeat this over here, it will be quite easy for you to replicate once you get placed, because by then you will become the practitioner of it, because it is also said that how you do anything is how you do everything. And apart from this, you chose to learn, you became a student, but we want you to be the full stack student who does all the assignment, do self research, and repeat what you learn. And while you do so, you finish what you start, and you may hit the success. And while you hit the success, it's quite easy for you to take the full responsibility of that. So continue to take the full responsibility of that when you hit the success by completing what you start. And when you don't finish what you start, or what you don't even start, you may hit to the failure. Kindly take the full responsibility of that as well. Why? Because when you embrace it after, once you acknowledge it, and once you acknowledge it, you can accept it, and when you accept it, you may go back and correct it, and then you would realize that failure was not a failure, that became trail to the success. So continue to take the full responsibility of both the elements, whether it is success or failure. And to do so, it really requires a concrete mindset. The very first one, inspired from the lean Kaizen, that means the continuous improvement. And for that, you need to have the learning mindset. More learning minded, you will become more positive minded, you will become complaint free in a way that you can perform even in a stringent timeline and can deliver any project with the lack of resources too in some time. And if you can do that continuously, you may find yourself leading with the more gratitude that leads to the highest level of productivity. And while you continue to do so, remember to start your day with the increased level of receptivity. And for that, we have something 30 days challenge. I have spoken about it already. And day one, kindly refer to that and join this 30 days challenge to get the complimentary audio that help you to complete this 30 days challenge. You need to just send me a message on DM, that is 30DC, and I'll be happily sharing you the link of this audio program. That's a complimentary. And when you are starting any new learning, any technical learning, apply this framework that is called as golden quadrant of learning, that comes with the fourth step. The very first one and second one, you do it here, and third one and fourth one, you do it later. So what happens in the first and second? First is the declaration with the anchor. So what will be the declaration and anchor? I have already spoken about it in today one. And just a quick reminder that declaration will be an anchor will be what? So I'll be just counting 1, 2, 3, and a quick self 5, 5. That's a quick clap. And that is setting up the anchor. And while you set up the anchor, then you need to declare. So what you are going to declare, you can see the selected statement on the screen, and I'm going to read it out, and you are going to repeat it after me. Once we are done with this, then we step into the second one. After 24 hours, what you need to do is that so first you declare with the anchor, then we will take a deep dive into deep learning immediately. And after your learning is done, after 24 hours, you are going to draw it using pen and paper, without referring to the audio video. But yet, if you want, you can, and scribble whatever you can recall from your memory on a piece of paper. And once you're done with step number 3, then flaunt it back in a summary video. The summary should be in a way that any 5 years old can understand, and it should be not more than 3 minutes maximum, or minimum 90 seconds of video. And once you do that, you complete the golden quadrant of learning. And you can apply this learning in any complex topic learning, or any complicated teaching outside as well. And trust me, if you can repeat it 3 times, you are going to witness yourself growing from novice to pro in any damn subject. So we will start with declaration with anchor and take a deep dive into deep learning. So what we are going to do is that I'm going to put the anchor, and I'm going to read the selected statement on your screen, and you are going to repeat after me. So can you all see this selected statement on your screen? Just unmute and say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kindly
Yeah.
model me. Kindly model me. Thank you so much for confirmation. Please go ahead and model me. 1, 2, 3, and clap and repeat. I'm a quick learner.
I'm a
I'm a
quick
quick
learner.
learner.
What others can learn and master,
What
What
others
others
can
can learn and
learn and
master,
master,
I too can do that.
I too
I
can
too
do that.
can do
You
that.
can
One,
do that.
one more time with the selected statement. Oh, first put the anchor, 1, 2, 3, and clap and repeat. Because I'm a quick learner,
Because I'm a quick
Because
learner.
I'm
I'm
a
a
quick
quick learner.
learner,
today's learning is going to be
Today's
today's
learning is
learning
going
is
to be
going to be
super duper easy to me.
super duper easy to
easy.
me.
Yes, it is going to be, because you said so. And remember the sixth code of honor that says that be the giver. Mm, So on this path, you must remember to be the giver. It means that keeping ego away on the path of learning, that makes you more spiritually grounded on the path of growth. When I say spiritually grounded, means your happiness level goes up, and happiness is today's new productivity, and that's the demand of the corporate. And while you do so, you remember that you are not here just to gate placed, but also to earn more. And it is said that what you want more of, you must start giving away the portion of. And for that very reason, start giving away the portion of your earning to the causes wherever you believe in case you can't do that because you are not earning, can you have at least the intention that you will give away once you get placed? And how much? The 5% and 10% of your earning. And what kind of a causes like donating into orphanages, or feeding hungry children, or donating into old age home, or churches, mosque, gurudwara, or even to temple. So why? Because when you give, you grow. When you receive, you may survive. And I'm sure that none of us are here for the survival, but for the growth for sure. And while you do so, remember to appreciate what you do, what others do for you. And even doesn't seem that it is helping you initially, continue to do so, because that's the another universal law that says that what you appreciate appreciates you back. And remember, when we are going to and how we are going to meet on Zoom, we are going to meet every Sunday for the technical session, and Monday as well for the technical session at 10 p.m. EST. Once we are done with that, remember to attend every single Tuesday and Thursday, repeat RRP session, because that's the gateway of your placement, reference ready resume preparation, because that enhances your visibility, and that strengthens your credibility, and thereby you get to see or experience the marketability with RRP team. And this is the mandatory for you to continue to repeat it, because that's the gateway. You are here for placement, not for learning. Learning is in addition as a first pillar, but yeah, definitely RRP is the thing for which you are here. Okay. And Wednesday, you can choose to do the assignment from the learning of Sunday. Friday, you can do the assignment from the learning of Monday, and Saturday, you can choose to relax, have a breather day, or do the research work, or repeat whatever you are going to, you want to repeat, or prepare any question that you want answer on the next technical session, that is on Sunday. So are we good with this? Are we very much clear with this code of honor? Just unmute yourself and say yes so that we can continue further. Just say
Yes.
yes if you're clear. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for quick confirmation, everyone. So let's continue from where we had left off. Anyone remember here what was the topic we were undergoing when we took the pause?
Scrum
Sprint
sprint
Scrum planning process.
Yes, yes,
Scrum sprint.
yes, yes. Definitely, you all remember that. So yes, you are right. We were going through last time about more about sprint before sprint, um, sprint planning, Scrum sprint. Now we will continue with this topic, and uh, I think we were done with this
Before sprint.
chapter. Yeah,
Yes.
we were
Yes.
done with this. Let's move to the next topic. I will quickly do a pictorial representation for this. So let me do that. And uh, we have gotten to know about, uh, product backlog items as well. So we had touched this topic too, that you will happen to see how product backlog is getting broken down into multiple user stories. In sprint planning meeting, you talk about those user story, right? You remember that? Yes.
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 And while you talk about this, the ultimate goal is to that every user story will get converted and broken down into the various tasks, and that will get to assign to everyone. Yes, everyone
Yes.
is
Yes.
with me.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so if you have this individual task assigned to individual, so that will give birth to the sprint backlog. All right. So now, because you have understood before sprint part, and let's get down into more detail of sprint planning to understand what happened during the sprint. Okay. So I want someone to read this bullet point, first bullet point for me, please.
No features are added and the sprint goals don't change. The only expectation to this is if the team finishes a sprint early.
Yeah. So it should be quite very clear to all of us that when sprint is going on already, you need to remember that in between, no features should be entertained. And why? Because if you are going to get into this, the entire sprint goal will restructure. It may get changed. And in exceptions, we can definitely entertain, but team has to finish the sprint because there should be a window to entertain any new feature or new additional task. Otherwise, we go in a way that everyone is self-occupied, everyone is so much occupied that their focus is always on the going activity. Otherwise, if you are bringing anything new, the entire, activities will get interrupted. That's number one. And in between, what if the customer is keen to, request you? Say, for example, imagine sprint is started. You have your sprint goal already identified, and customer seeks some help from you. You being the business analyst can take a decision, although, or even a developer happen to interact with clients, say for example, and some critical item comes up, and customer may say that incorporating it won't take much time because he has assessed accordingly, and he sees that this is 1 hour of work, or say 1.5 hour work, and he approaches directly to the developer. So how will you tackle this? Imagine if you are um, uh, you know you are an agilist, you are a business analyst first, or you are even a developer. So how will you tackle this request? will, I mean, what should be your approach for this?
I will direct it to the
I
product
think
owner first.
product owner.
Okay, you will
Get the
direct,
product owner involved.
okay, product owner, and what
He will
else?
then alter the scope.
Okay, alter the scope. Okay,
I think we have to discuss the time box also. If any addition or deletion of the features, then it has to be discussed time also, time frame.
oh, okay, okay. Thank you so
It will
much.
be added in the sprint backlog, and it will be discussed with the product owner that
Yeah,
new features are being added. They are
okay.
being asking the new things.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for thinking in that direction. Yeah. So one answer is common over here, and everything else will be dependent upon that common answer. Okay. Whatever request comes in, it has to be directed to the product owner. Okay. Now, product owner will decide whether it has to be added in product backlog or not, whether it has to be added into the sprint or not. Even if it is decided to, it is that it can be added. Everything will be headache of product owner, and it has to be done later. Ongoing sprint activity, even for 10 minutes of work, should not be interrupted. Are you all with me? Yes?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So kindly remember that as a Scrum Master or as an Agilist or Scrum practitioner, you are going to take everything as a product owner to decide that things can be incorporated in later stage. The ongoing activity or sprint should not be interrupted until unless like it is firefighting situation. You know, uh, it has to be discussed first. Budget, time boxing, everything will get impact otherwise. Yeah, generally it doesn't happen. Okay, but in exception, these things you need to take care of. Okay, so now if we move further, we take this daily stand up we have.
Gaurav, uh, can I interrupt you for just for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
So does that mean the changes which comes, during the sprint, it could wait until the sprint term is over?
Can you be more clear on to this, what exactly you
Like,
wanted?
it says no features are added, and the
Mm-hmm.
sprint. So the feature part. So that's a requirement, right? The
Mm-hmm.
the in the one sprint, if there is a new requirement comes in, the new change needs to be done or is requested by the customer,
Mm-hmm.
it could wait until the first sprint is over, then it could be added. Is that what does that
Yeah,
did I
yeah.
understand it correctly?
Yes, yes. Any new feature is being requested that, okay, we want this on priority. Then our entire plan will go. But we can definitely tell the customer that before we continue with the next sprint, we can accommodate into the product backlog. But ultimately, considering the environment, considering the priority and intensity, this will be altogether decision of product owner. The workers, staff members other than product owner won't involve in any kind of a decision. They are not going to respond to such a request in between.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Thanks a
yeah,
lot.
you're welcome. Thank you. So continue with this. We were talking about daily stand-up and sprint. So daily stand-up, sometimes we call them as a daily scrum meeting. When we say daily scrum, it means this ceremony is bound to happen every single day, where everyone talk about one item, and because everyone talks about one item, it has another name too. But before I reveal that, I want someone to read the second bullet point for me, please.
The daily scrum,
Daily
also
scrum.
known as the daily stand up or daily scrum, during which team members synchronize effort.
Yeah. Can you continue with the third one as well?
Daily scrums enable team members to ensure the right things are being worked on by the right people at the right time.
Yeah. Thank you so much for reading this out. So, daily scrum is daily stand up. And the purpose of this, that everyone is synchronized with each other and they talk about their effort, what they have already taken. Okay. So, because of this synchronization, this is also called as sync up call sometime. What it is called as?
Sync up call.
Yeah, sync up call. So you rarely happen to hear when things are being practiced under agile. However, when it gets advanced towards safe, that is the scaled agile, that is the time you will get to hear this for these call. That is called as sync up call, where multiple agile teams are working for one purpose, for one objective, for one enterprise level like project. Okay. So in this meeting, what exactly happened? Uh, Team will ensure that they are working for the right objective, and every activity is happening for the right purpose and at the right time. So there are three things they generally talk about. Before we reveal that, let's continue to the next slide, and I want someone to read the first bullet over here.
Sprint planning. Every morning of the sprint, the project team gets together for a short daily stand up meeting under 15 minutes. This meeting takes place at the same time every day and includes everyone on the project. Everyone stands up for the meeting to keep everyone focused and to keep the meeting short. Often a timer is set so that the meeting does not run long.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So in this continuity, I want someone to read the next paragraph.
Each person on the team is tasked to answer three simple questions. What did I do yesterday to help achieve the sprint goal? What will I do today to achieve the sprint goal? What, if anything, is impeding or blocking progress towards the sprint goal?
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out, everyone. So understand this sprint, in this sprint, well, not in the sprint planning, but it is in sprint planning, it is informed that every one of you are going to meet for a stand-up meeting. When we say stand-up meeting, literally it means that you are going to stand up. Okay. Literally, you are going to meet in person in one dedicated room or conference room every single day for not more than 15 minutes. Okay. When we say not more than 15 minutes, and when we say daily stand up, so you need to be very much sure. However, with this information, when I underwent few of the assignment, I got to know that few things I need to clarify. Okay. Yes, you are right. Every single day for 15 minutes, everyone is going to meet in person. But these situation used to be the pre-COVID situation. All right, everyone, with me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What happens post-COVID? So post-COVID, not necessarily everyone is meeting together in every single room, but how you are going to compensate or replace this stand up when every person is literally standing up only for 15 minutes and is visible to each other. So to compensate that, because people are distributed geographically and they need to be the part of, every staff member needs to be part of the this daily stand up meeting. How, you tell me, how would they compensate to this scenario? Because everyone is not cannot meet in one room together. Okay, can't see each other. Then how they will make sure for 15 minutes this daily stand up guidelines has been have been followed? How would you make sure when you are meeting not in person? Can someone think?
I think it can be through Zoom,
Or Teams.
Okay,
Teams, and
yeah,
video
any
video conference.
Using
conferencing,
tools.
any web conferencing tool they can meet. But how you are going to compensate the experience of meeting in person? Tool can be used, definitely. We are also using the tool. Do you
Make sure it's a video call.
exactly, Nagalakshmi? That's absolutely right. Yes. So when you are compensating with the daily stand up, making sure that your webcam is switched on, and that is the main criteria. Okay, that's the main criteria when you are doing the stand up call, because in this stand up call it may happen that you are showing up but your videos are switched off. Okay, that is not going to compensate this. Otherwise, it may lead that you are going to attract the in-person meeting. It may lead that you need to be the part of in-person coming back to office and all. Okay, so making sure that you are abiding by the disciplines, and you are making sure your videos are switched on, and you are always there in the professional attire and all to attend the meeting. Okay, and in those meeting you need to remember three things that you are going to speak about. So you will give the quick information of your past, that what did you do in last 8 hours. Okay, what you are planning to do in the next 8 hours, and anything which is stopping you or interrupting you or hindering you to move ahead, that you are going to speak about it. And that's when, because when you talk about what did you do yesterday or in last 8 hours, and when you reveal what is your plan next, and when you will reveal if it is, something is interrupting you, everyone will get in sync with it. Get if any dependency is there, that will be addressed. And uh, Scrum Master has to know, because Scrum Master will chair the every single meeting. Who chairs every single meeting, everyone?
Scrum
Scrum
Master.
Master.
Scrum Master. So kindly remember that it's the Scrum Master who will talk about it, who will make sure that all the hindrances are known to him, so that he will be making sure that every single such hindrances or impediment are getting addressed as soon as possible. How would you remember that in this 15 minutes, what exactly you are going to talk about? So I'll quickly tell you three words or few words that you can remember in a rhythmic manner. So when you are getting the part of this 15-minute stand-up meeting, remember you are going to talk about three things, and that you can sing in this way: last state, next state, bottleneck. How will you remember that?
Last
Last
state.
date, next date, and bottleneck.
Bottleneck.
Exactly, you're right. Yes. So when we say last date, it means you will talk about last 8 hour. What did you do? Next date, next 8 hour, 8 hours, what you are planning to do. And bottleneck, anything that has stopped your ongoing activity, or may cause to, pause the ongoing activity. You are going to reveal them. As a Scrum Master, I want you to target to finish your daily stand-up meeting within 10 minutes or maximum up to 10 minutes. Okay. Why? Because anyway, if you target for 15 minutes, it may sometime, cross few seconds. Okay. Or may stretch beyond 15 minutes. So uh, none of agilist, no agilist or no Scrum Master would appreciate this standard to go beyond it. So that's the reason when you even target for 10 minutes, and if you happen to stretch it anyway, within 15 minutes, there is a surety that you would wrap up. So always target for 10 minutes, not target for 15 minutes. That's my based on personal experience, I'm telling you. And that's when the right quick daily stand up will happen. Because imagine if just a person is there, and you are not just a person, entire team member is there, and if you are planning, the entire plan will be finished within 15 minutes. And say for example 7 members are there, and everyone is talking about 2 minutes, within 15 minutes you are done. But cumulatively every single person's uh, 15 minutes have been done. So imagine even if six people have given the quick stand up sharing in 15 minutes, your 90 minutes cumulatively has gone. Okay, so make sure that time is well saved, because save time is time utilized. Okay, and you may uh, come up with lot of more productive action item within this timeline. So that's the reason, we can't afford to lose every single day, every single minute, and every single ceremonies. So that's the reason you need to remember how we can minimize these meetings. And because the stand up is crucial, you target for 10 minutes, so that even with the stretch you can finish it within within less than 15 minutes. Everyone is with me so far and understood it well? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much for letting me know. So these are during the sprint happening, okay, while sprint is going on. So I want someone to read the first bullet point for me, please. Go ahead.
These three
These three
questions
questions allow for
allow
complete
for complete transparency.
transparency.
Every
Everyone on the team is in the loop, and answers make people accountable for what they say they will deliver.
Yeah, every single day when you're speaking about certain item, we are knowing that you are on top of what, okay? And when you are speaking every single day about this progress or certain feature, it means that we are very much sure that what can be expected from you and how long it is going to take. Okay, so who is delivering what kind of a feature is quite evident when you are talking every single day with entire team, and in case any dependency is there, that will be also revealed during this, and any question or any other relative integrational work is there, the person will get ready with that. So with this note, I want someone to read the second bullet point for me.
The result
The
of this
results
meeting
of
are
this meeting are
typically shared
typically
with the
shared
client.
with the client.
Mhm. Yeah. So what happens every single day when we are meeting, we are talking about what's going on and what is the plan. The entire thing we are just not keeping with us, just listening and going back. As a product owner, you can take a charge that whatever the transparency you have decided about to keep it is being also communicated with the client. So you can decide to continue to update to your client as well that this is what is going on. And please read the third one, please.
This
This
daily
daily
communication makes
communication makes sure that if something is holding up the team, they can get a response quickly.
Yeah. Now here comes the impediment part. When we say impediment part, the more faster you will reveal that, the more faster the solution may appear. Okay. With this note, what is going to happen? So when you are sharing that, and uh, if anything is coming in between and anything which is dependent, and that is not letting you move ahead, product owner will make sure these question, because product owner is not part of this daily stand up meeting. It's scrum master's duty that he is going to update based on your responses or your participation. Every single ticket he will make sure is getting updated, okay, into the project management tool. Based on that, product owner may directly ask certain question to scrum master to get more information about it, and making sure that customer is being informed about it. All right. So that is quite very important that you are going to work about it, and communicating it regularly, making sure that responses are never bottlenecked, and it is always in flow. The purpose behind daily stand up is that things has to be in the flow, okay, not in interruption. In case interruption is foreseen, that can be resolved then and there, okay. So with this note, let me quickly read something is there in the chat window. How would Scrum Master overcome the geographical challenge? People from different time zone. Dev, can you speak up?
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Yeah, tell me.
So, in a real life scenario, like people are working remote, and let's
Mhm.
say Scrum Master, we have a sprint meeting set up at 11 a.m. There are 9 time zones in the US.
Hmm.
How would the Scrum Master overcome? Because everyone is expected to attend the meeting,
Hmm.
of course, for the betterment of the sprint. The thing.
Hmm.
How would like somebody is going to be absent, right? Or it doesn't happen. I mean, I'm talking about the real
Hmm.
life scene. I'm not
Hmm.
working, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you would know.
Thank you for asking. So, okay, let's hear from everyone. So, it's quite genuine question, right? It's quite genuine. It may happen. Yes or no, everyone? Because if
Yes.
people are working post-COVID situation, not in campus, not in the same office, okay, and everyone is working remotely, it may happen that people are working in a different time zone as well. So how they are going, it may forget about US time zone. It may happen with the intercontinental time zone. It may happen that people are from different country altogether. One is sitting in India, one is sitting in USA, and a part of one team. And still, how they are going to manage? As it may happen, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, yeah.
So considering this factor, product owner is going to decide one centrally dedicated time, okay, where everyone can meet on that time zone, and the stand up may happen. There is a myth behind stand up. The myth is that stand up has to happen the moment you start your day. Okay, so if you are going to start your day, it means someone's day is going to get finished. Okay, if someone's day is going to get finished, or someone's day is already finished, or someone's day has not yet started, so these may happen. So that's the reason you choose one such timeline or time zone in which everyone is awake and can be the part of that. And for that very reason, we have choices. Either you come to the campus, or you accept this truth that or accept this fact that you can join in this remote web conferencing, in this remote stand-up meeting, where you are there and you can speak up. If you say that I'm not available, you better not be available. Okay, so this is how this daily stand-up works. Okay, you make sure that even it is night at 9 o'clock, at least you show up for that daily stand-up meeting, give your talk about your part and move ahead. Okay, so making sure that this goes in a very synchronized manner, despite the time differences, whatever the dedicated time has been decided for that daily stand-up meeting, you are making sure from your end you are present over there. Okay, despite the time zone. So if it is not working out, you better speak to the scrum master, decide about it, because scrum master's role is what? To remove the impediment. If showing up in the daily stand up itself is an impediment, that needs to be addressed as soon as possible, right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something I just want to add for one more minute. I think other people will appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like my neighbor, right? So he's a developer. He's working, right now in XP, the extreme, the I'm sorry, the pair programming. So
Mm-hmm.
he explained me. So he has his junior developer. He's in Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
and he's in Texas. So
Mm-hmm.
he was just telling me how he manages the time zone during the meeting. So that's why that question came in my mind. I just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to clarify, and that's why I asked.
Yeah, so go ahead and share with us, how does he manage his time in different time zone?
It,
Yeah.
it's so so the meeting, he says, he's supposed to see him at 10 a.m. I'm 10 a.m., but in Hawaii it's like early morning.
Hmm.
So then he finishes his chores early.
Mm-hmm.
Other work, like he goes out, does his shopping, he comes back, and then he does this. But I but because he's been working for so many years, he's much
Hmm.
more experienced. So
Hmm.
he can have that leverage.
Mm-hmm.
We can, because we don't have much experience. So for initially few years, we have to pay a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So ultimately, it may sound like you're working in a shift as well. So these are the facts, because some benefits you are going to get, and some, you may think are the sacrifice, but those are benefit to you in a indirect manner. Okay, so you are going to work in that way, right? Everyone got this question
Thank you
answered
so
as
much.
well. Yeah, welcome, Dave. So everyone got this good answer and visibility, and you could visualize what may exactly happen to the max extent, right, everyone? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. So thank you so much. So what we were talking about, we talked about, um okay, so results are shared with the client, and daily communication. Make sure that if something is holding you back, can get a quick response. And for that very reason, we have to bring everything visible, transparent to every single person, starting from you till to the every single person involved into that, it means every single stakeholder. So when we say that, so there are method, even though if you remember, next state, last state, bottleneck, remember the meaning behind that. You are going to reveal what you have done already. And you are going to talk about your plan, what you are going to do anyway. And if you are experiencing any bottleneck as well, you are going to talk about that. Okay. With this note, remember that how things flow, that you have the requirement broken down into the multiple product backlog. You take up the highly prioritized item, uh, and when you pick the highly prioritized item to start discussing about in the sprint planning meeting, those are called as sprint backlog. You start working on to them. That is during this implementation phase. You talk daily about it. That's in daily stand-up meeting. And one fine day you realize that whatever the feature you were working upon is time is done, and you call every single person, and including client, making sure you demonstrate them whatever you have developed. That will go under the sprint review meeting. See, we have talked enough about daily stand up. We have talked enough about planning. We have not talked about enough in the review meeting. We will reveal what will happen in the review meeting, but in a nutshell, in um, a summary, you understand this is the a quick demonstration to the client, but not we no more call it as a demonstration. But here in this meeting, customer give it a go. If he is satisfied completely, you decide to deploy the completed features, and while completed feature are being deployed, you make sure that you run another meeting. This is called as a retrospective meeting. What kind of meeting, everyone?
Retrospective.
Retrospective.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. So, what exactly happened in this? So, in the sprint, you make sure that you are working on the Scrum, and while you are working on the Scrum, and we are talking about the sprint, you are very much now know that it's a time box iteration. Sprint is also called as what, everyone?
Time boxed iteration.
Because in this time box iteration, you are producing some developed item in a cyclic manner, and you are going to repeat the similar activities, okay, for another piece of the prioritized item on and you will complete every single cycle that you saw in this picture. Okay, starting from prioritizing, planning, implementing, daily stand-up review, and introspective. Okay, so this will continue to follow until we are done with every single day. But remember that when we are talking about this sprint cycle, it can be as short as few days and as long as 4 weeks. It should not go beyond 4 weeks. So what is the limitation of a sprint?
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Yes, you're right. 4 weeks. So, and these 4 weeks task, you can consider them itself as a project, and every such task will have a start day or finish day. With me so far, everyone? Yes, no?
Yes.
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 Yeah. So, any questions so far? When we are talking about this, any questions so far?
Nope.
No.
No.
Okay. All right. So if you don't have any question, I am thinking to ask you one question. And my question is this, that when we are talking about a sprint cycle, and will there be a situation that, all the product backlog will get over? When we are talking about this, you know, we are picking up always the prioritized item, and these entire activity will continue to happen. So will there be any time when the product backlog will get over? This entire broken down requirement will get over, it will be developed and delivered? Yes or no?
Yes.
It may
No.
sound,
Yes.
yeah, it may
No.
sound, but it will not. Why?
Yes.
because once you are delivering, you're right, once you are delivering, you know, customer has to come back, and you as a, you know, responsible business analyst, making sure customer is always competing into the market, and as a responsible business analyst, you are bringing more and more changes and making sure that your product backlog is always top, always updated. If your product backlog is over, your project is over. Okay. So as long as project exists, product backlog has not to be completed. I mean, it is not going to go empty. With me so far, everyone?
Yes.
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 All right. So with this note, let's move to the next slide. And for that, I would like to invite Prerna. Prerna, can you take the control and take the slide?
Gaurav, before you leave, one more question. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I
no,
have
no
just one
problem.
doubt. So the high priority items, obviously, no, we take them in consideration. But the low priority items, what if we don't finish it? We can ignore it easily.
See, priority has to be addressed when it comes to the high only. Low priority, yes, if it
We can
can be
ignore it.
addressed later, let's keep it towards the, towards the, what we call it, um, in the stack. You can keep it at the lower stack. Okay,
I
it
see.
will never come up the on the top of the stack. When we are talking about the stack, it means the items under product backlog. All right, Dev?
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So let me quickly check with Prerna. Prerna, if you're there, can you take this slide?
Yes, Gaura, I can take this, but for control, will you please continue for today?
Okay, okay,
Is it
fine.
okay?
Okay,
Yeah, thank
okay.
you so much. Okay, so as Gaurav has been in detail explaining about how the stand-up meeting works, what all we discuss during those meetings, or how the overall sprint works. Let us understand in detail how we can understand a sprint review can be undertaken with good quality. I mean, with rather the best quality, not even the good quality. So, sprint review, as the name suggests, it's like a review of the existing sprint that we have worked upon. But it is not only that, it has more layers to it. What happens in that review, who all are present in that review, what exactly is the expectation from our team, or what is the customer is, or client is expecting. That is all is explained here. So before starting the explanation, I will request, I would say, one person to read out the text.
A sprint review
Anyone can go
meeting.
ahead. Mhm.
A sprint review meeting should be a natural result of the sprint involving the product owner, the Scrum team, the Scrum master, management, customers, and developers from other projects.
So what it says is it is a natural outcome after completing the sprint. Okay. And can you just highlight who all are supposed to be present in this meeting?
The product owner,
Yeah.
the Scrum team,
Mm-hmm.
the Scrum master, management,
Mm-hmm.
customers, and developers from other projects.
In short, everybody who is involved in the project, they are supposed to be attending this review. See, here you see everyone like product owner, scrum master, development team, everybody is mentioned. So it is an first of all, it is a very important event. Okay, it's not any ordinary event. This event, sorry, this ceremony, better than calling it as an event, this ceremony is, I would say, a highlight of the entire Scrum, wherein as a development team or as a Scrum team, we get an opportunity to highlight, to showcase, to present our work to all the stakeholders, right? Here, if you can see, we have senior management, we have other stakeholders, we have customers, we have internal team, we have everyone. So this meeting is so important, wherein we not only present, but we highlight our achievements, we highlight our, or I would say everything that we have completed in this sprint. So here, can we focus on the image, please? Yeah, everybody can enlarge the image in their screen if it is smaller, or you can have a look. So as we can see, this for the sprint review, we get feedback on the product from see that one person, we can assume that's a customer. Okay, we get feedback on the product from other lot of team members, those can be stakeholders. We can and then there's a person who is facilitating that is definitely a scrum master. And demo, can you see demo? And there are different images with different hair color and different clothes. That is our development team or scrum team. So in short, what is happening, scrum team is presenting their completed work in this current sprint to all the stakeholders, and that is being reviewed. Okay, and it is not only being reviewed, it is also given feedback by all the stakeholders. So see, someone presenting is one side, but then as a customer, as a client, as a third party user, or as a direct user, I would say, we have to give our feedback, right? Okay, this is looking good. Okay, this is not proper. We were expecting this. This has not happened as per expectation. This functionality is fine. So whatever the feedback may be, right? So that feedback is very essential, because that feedback is again needs to be incorporated, or it needs to be worked upon by the development team. We will go to all these additional points in the subsequent slide. Gaurav, will you please go to the next slide, please? Yeah, and any doubts in between, please feel free to ask. Yeah. Gaurav, the slide is not changed from, I mean, for me at least.
You want me to move to the next slide, Prerna?
Yes, yes, Gaurav. Yes, please.
Can you see the next slide?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, Gaurav. It just got reflected now. Thank you so much. Okay. So now let us understand what is the agenda for a sprint review from everyone's angle. When I say everyone, that means all the parties that are involved in the sprint review. Okay. Can I request two different people to read out the agenda first from the development team's point of view, and then from the product owner point of view? Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Development team talks about the sprint, what went well, problems that arose, how they solved those problems, demonstrates completed work or product backlog items, answers any questions.
Product
Okay.
owner.
No, wait for a second. Let us understand this first. Thank you. So, so what does development team discuss about? What is their agenda? Sorry, give me a second. Okay. So first of all, what went well? That means whatever we could achieve, like, see, when we say achieve, when we say, we have completed, that means there are certain times technical challenges, or there are some, I would say, complexities in implementation or functionality wise. So all these things have been overcome by the development team, and those are their achievements, right? So that's why, whenever we present anything, we discuss, we highlight anything, we would mention our achievement. So that's what we are saying, that this is all we could achieve, this is all we have completed. So this is that is the part which we mention as what went right, what went well, what we could achieve. Now second point is We are saying problems that arose, right? So, okay, while development, while implementing, we faced this issue. There was some latency. We had to get some additional software. We were short on. I mean, you don't highlight that we were short on resources, but we can always say that we completed this functionality within this much amount of time and things like that. So basically, you're not only highlighting your work, but you're also mentioning what problems had incurred and how well you managed to solve those problems, right? It's not only about highlighting problems, but it is also about highlighting how you resolved those issues, right? So that also gives you an edge, or it also gives you, I would say, some credits that okay, they faced issue but they even resolved it. Okay, so that's also some I would say positive side, even while you're kind of showcasing the issues you raised, but you're highlighting that okay, we've overcome and we worked on them, things like that. How they solve the problems we just discussed. Demonstrate complicated work and demonstrate completed work and product backlog item. Now this is the event for showcasing these activities. So whatever we have completed, whatever we have worked upon, the functionality, maybe it can be a website, it can be a web application, it can be a mobile application, it can be anything, any kind of development that we have completed. We can showcase, okay, you can log in here, you can get on the page, you can check this, check that. So the functionality demonstration part. And last, answers any question. So the highlight of this agenda from development team point of view is highlight their work, highlight any issues that they had faced, and then how did they resolve that. Then the core of the presentation is display their work completed. And finally, last but not the least, if anybody has any questions, they can ask. So this is from development team's point of view, this agenda. Okay. Uh, any doubts in this, guys? Anyone?
So, Prerna, when you say they discuss the problems that arose and how they solved it, do they log these into like a journal, or do they save these so they can use it for future? Or
Okay, so very good or interesting question. See, there is a document called as a risk register. Okay, sadly, it is not developed by all the organizations. Or honestly, in my career, very few companies had maintained. I, as a project manager, had maintained that. So, what this risk register does is, what issues or problems we had mentioned, right? You see, it can be related to, some a requirement of some softwares that was not earlier present, that we had to procure it, or we have to buy it, or it can be with some technological. So whatever is, you can mention some of them into the risk registers. Okay, I mean, there has to be some relevance. If there is some technical issue and while development you're getting some coding problem, that won't be a part of it. But then some you had to get a software, or you had to buy a server, that is a big, I would say, investment. So that you can mention that, okay, so we could see the risk of not getting a server on time, so we actually approached whatever our senior management, we got the approvals. Because see, in organizations, it is never I would say that it's not a fast or quick kill always when it comes to approvals. We have to go through certain levels and get their approvals and things like that. So these kind of things, to answer your question, first thing is yes, we mentioned that in our risk registers. It's a good practice if you have. Second, no, then even as a developer, as a scrum master, we should note down these issues so we can discuss them. And so it can be in your project documents, in any specific particular document, or it can be your personal copy where you're working on, you can develop. But then having it on a project document gives a visibility to all that, what all issues we faced. Is it clear now?
yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome. Let us move on to the second agenda from product owner's point of view.
Discusses
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
product backlog and roadmap. Projects likely completion rates with various completion rate or velocity assumptions.
Okay, so what it says is product owner's agenda is quite straightforward. So he or she discusses whatever the work that has been completed, that is snapshot of product backlog and roadmap. That means uh, currently whatever work is pending that can be highlighted. Okay, so this, for example, if there were earlier 50 requirements and in this particular sprint we have completed 10 requirements, and he will highlight that okay, we've completed 10 and we are still left with 40 requirements. And then the roadmap means, and this is how we are, like in the next 4 sprints we will be completing each time 10 requirements, and we will be completing this requirement list or this product backlog. Now this stands as a roadmap. That means you're even telling them this is how we are planning to implement or complete it. Okay. Second is likely completion dates of the project with various completion rate. That is velocity assumptions. With other assumptions means having your team, considering your team's strength, knowing that there can be some foreseen or unforeseen absenteeisms, or there is some slowness, or any other issues. See, sometimes resources are not available. Somebody leaves the organizations, or sometimes some particular resource or particular employee is required for any technology that you might have to hire from outside or take from third party vendors. So all these things happen in a project. So considering all that, considering the capacity and velocity means considering the development speed of the team overall, we have to project a completion date. Project means we have to in a way plan or assume. So it is not a hard and fast completion date, because see, for example, imagine during monsoon. Okay, it's crazy especially in Mumbai. There are like at least 1 to 2 days in a month or a couple of months. That time you will not be able to travel. Now luckily we can connect from remote and we still work, but then in certain scenarios when you have to be in office and you have to complete work from office, then how would you manage, right? So consider, now this is a very very a particular scenario, but then there can be other situations where team is not available, or where some technical challenge is there, or where is some approvals are missing. That's why we cannot get some service or hardware stuff like that. So yes, as a product owner we have to consider all these scenarios and then give a project. See, it is mentioned projects likely completion date. That means they're not saying ki giving the confirmed date. Okay, they're like us giving some assumption that okay, we will be able to complete this work by mid-November or end of November, things like that. Yeah, easy to understand. Any doubt in this, guys? Anyone?
No, no.
No doubts? Yeah, Gaurav, can we go to next slide, please? Yes. Now we have the agenda, overall agenda, wherein what exactly happens in the sprint. Can I request, I would say, people who have not read till now to go one by one about these points, please?
I'll start.
Go ahead.
Development team told.
Mm-hmm. Go
Should I
ahead.
continue?
Yeah, go ahead. I
Reviewing
actually,
the
there
goal.
was a drop. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Reviewing the goal for the sprint, demonstrating new features implemented during the sprint, requesting
Mm-hmm.
feedback from the stakeholders,
Mm-hmm.
discussing work not yet accomplished, identifying risk and impediments, reviewing project increment objectives, and looking ahead to the next sprint using the top lines from the product backlog.
Thank you so much for reading it out. So what it says is, first of all, I mean, most of the pointers we have already discussed, but let's glance through it once again. So what it says is reviewing the goal for the sprint. So yes, definitely along with the completed work, what was the sprint goal? What was the functionality that we were looking at to achieve? Have we achieved that? That we need to highlight. Second, so next point is demonstrating new features and new features implemented during the sprint. So yes, whatever work we have completed, we need to highlight and showcase that. Requesting feedbacks from stakeholders, we have discussed in detail. Discussing work not yet accomplished. Now, this is important, right? So it's not only about what all you have completed, but then you, as a team, we also need to highlight that, okay, now how many product backlog items are still pending? You know, what we still needs to work upon. So all that things are also mentioned and highlighted. Next point is identifying risk and impediments. Now here is the answer. Like you get asked, like, do we mention the problems or the risks? The yes. So we should rather basically have that risk register wherein all the impediments or risks that had occurred or that may occur in future, that we can mention, and then we can refer to that document during this discussion, stating that okay, we had anticipated this risk and we were for example, the risk can be shortage of resources, and then we had prepared for it by borrowing resources from other projects, or having enough backups for the project. So yes, things like that we can discuss. Next is reviewing project increment objectives. That means, what are the next objectives of this project? Like, what are we planning in the next sprint? What that sprint goal should be. So just a future plan of this project, when we say increment, that means what is the next step, the next plan. So that all discussion also happens. And yes, looking ahead to the next sprint using the top lines from the product backlog. Top lines, that means whatever is at the top of the product backlog. And always remember, product backlog is need to be ordered all the time. When I say ordered means all the top priority items would be at the top and low priority items would be at the bottom. That's why it is mentioned that for the next sprint, we need to take top lines or top items on the product backlog. Yes, we had discussed most of the items earlier, so we didn't spend too much time onto this. So anybody has any doubts in this particular agenda, development teams point of view or overall agenda? Yes?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Gaurav, can we go to next slide? Okay. Now we have a very easy to understand and simple, I would say, image. And I personally like having images because that is very easy to retain in your memory. So here, see what it says. We have sprint review ceremony, a meeting at the end of the sprint to check the increment. So meeting, this is held at the end of the sprint to ensure what all development we have completed. Okay. Then it should be roughly for 2 to 4 hours, depending on this size of the sprint. Easy to understand. If for example, if it is a 2 week sprint, then 2 hours, maybe 4 week sprint, then 4 hours, things like that. Okay, not hard and fast, but then smaller the sprint, definitely you will spend lesser amount on the discussion and vice versa. So increment means what we worked upon earlier, what are we planning to work in the next sprints. And below we have product owner, scrum master, development team, and others. That means client, stakeholders, senior management, everybody involved in the project. And what are the three, can somebody read out the three takeaways from the review? Those three arrows on the right hand side. Go ahead.
Done functionalities, updated product backlog, next sprint planning date.
Yeah. And can we have a one-liner explanation for this in your own word? When we say done functionalities, what do we understand?
The completed
Completed
features.
features.
Yes,
It
very
is
well.
like
Next
completely
point.
done. And then updated product backlog is like after we have the completed one, like make sure it's prioritized again and keep it ready for the next sprint.
Perfect. Yes, very well said. Last
And
point.
then next sprint planning date is after the review and the retrospective is done, and we'll be having the date for next when this next sprint is going to be started.
Thank you so much for explaining this so well. So yes, as she's rightly mentioned, all these things are discussed in the meeting, and then we plan for the next sprint planning date. That means we are towards the completion of the sprint, and then we have to plan for the upcoming sprints planning event. Okay, so we decide on that date itself as well. So anybody having any doubt, and I'll recommend to take a picture of this image. So go ahead and please take a picture wherein it will be in your memory, and you can actually recall a lot of things when you look at the picture. Yeah, yeah. Yep. So please take a image of this particular picture. Yeah, done. Okay. Yeah, Gaurav, we can go to next slides. Anybody has any doubts, please feel free to ask. Okay, now this is again a summarized version. So I'll just ask three different people who have not read till now, who are on continuous mute. So they can go ahead and read one by one, three different people. Go ahead.
In Scrum, each sprint is required to deliver a potentially shippable product increment. This means that at the end of each sprint, the team has produced a coded, tested, and usable piece of software. Next point is during the sprint review, the project is assessed against the sprint goal determined during the sprint planning meeting. And then the third one is ideally the team has completed each product backlog item brought into the sprint, but it's more important that they achieve the overall goal of the sprint.
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. I didn't realize. So yes,
Okay.
so what it says is, yeah, sorry.
Oh, nothing. Nothing. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what it says is each scrim is required to deliver a potentially shippable product increment. Now this is a big term, but it is very easy. Potentially shippable means it has the potential to be delivered to the customer. Product is definitely whatever we have completed, and increment means the next advanced, I would say, step of completion. So this simply means whatever work that we have completed till now, which can be handed over or which can be given to the customer, that we can deliver. Okay, that is the focus. That in simple words, whatever work we have completed, that can be delivered. But just to have some charming words, we have that potentially shippable product increment. Okay, so just remember these terms. This is agile, so they have their own language. They have their own verbiage. So we follow that. This means that the end of the each sprint, the team has produced and coded, tested, and usable piece of software. See, in short, what it means is during the entire sprint, we need to work on applications or products which are workable. Okay, it should not be the case that okay, there are still errors, there are still bugs, and the functionality is not working. That will definitely be not accepted. Okay, so please focus on that part. That though it's fine, some of the functionality might not be completed, but it should be a working piece of code. Okay, shippable means it is without errors, it is without issues, without bugs, and the customer can use it, can test it. Okay, that's why the testing word has also so much of emphasis. Next is during this review, sprint review, the project is assessed against the sprint goal determined during the sprint planning meeting. Means whatever goal we had planned during sprint planning meeting, that we assess during this event, this ceremony. That means, okay, we had planned to complete, I would say, these major functionality, or we had focused on completing, say, a payment functionality, and that is completed or not. So basically, we have some parameters to compare it with. Next is ideally the team has completed each project backlog item brought into the sprint, but it's more important that they achieve the overall goal. So it doesn't matter if you work on extra item, but then you have to focus on whatever was completed, whatever was planned as a sprint goal. Okay, always remember this. So it's fine. It's fine that you're not able to complete all the functionality. Fine, as in it is accepted sometimes. But then, if you have not completed what is meant by product goal, then it can be an issue. Yeah. So any doubt in this? It is more or less on the similar grounds about what we have discussed. So any doubt in this, guys?
No. No.
Yeah. Anybody has any doubts? If no, then we can go to next slide. Yeah, Gaurav, please. Yeah. Can I request 3 different people to read out, please? Yeah, go ahead.
Crossing the
Crossing the
finish line
finish
and
line
completing work
and work
requires good planning
good
or a clear
planning or
definition of done
definition
and
of done
focused
and focused
execution.
execution. This all is reflected in the sprint review.
Looks like you're in mute, Prerna.
Yes, yes. No, sorry. 1 second. 1 second. Sorry, I was okay. So guys, what it says is crossing the finish line and completing work requires good planning. Yes, absolutely. Everybody understands that. A clear definition of done, that means we all know what we need to complete, what kind of activities or functionality we need to complete to consider it as a done event. And focused execution, this is all is reflected in sprint review. So in short, your sprint review ceremony is an event wherein the planning, the execution, and the implementation gets noticed. So how well you had planned, how well you could achieve, how well you had executed. So all these, I would say, important steps are highlighted. Okay. Second, a culture of delivery. So that means all the clear processes and development culture gets highlighted, that as a team, as a development team, we focus on delivery. That's what we mentioned here. Okay. And last but not the least, following questions needs to be asked and answered during the review. That are stories well defined by the product owner, designer, and the engineering team before implementation. That means stories, again, user stories are like something I would say the requirements are given in the form of user stories. That means it's actually like a small story or small detail given in text. That's why we call it as a user story. So all the requirements are mentioned here. So we are saying that product owner needs to be needs to well define and given proper detail about the requirements before we start implementing. It makes sense, right? Because if you don't have proper details, if you don't have proper explanation given about something to be developed, how would we even are expected to work on that? Fine. So any doubts about this, guys? We have given sufficient amount of time. It is a very important ceremony, and that's why we are focusing on so many details. Yes, any doubts in sprint review?
No doubts.
These points?
No doubts.
No. Thank you so much. Yeah, Gaurav, we can go to next slide, please. Okay. These 4 points again, somebody else or 4 different people, whosoever feel like reading it out. Go ahead.
Does everyone understand and like the team's engineering values and culture? Are there clear definitions and requirements around code review, automated testing, and continuous development to encourage sustainable, agile development? After the team completes a story, are there many bugs that surface? In other words, does done really mean done? The team's culture around quality and completion should arise above every user story, engineering work item, and bug. This culture is reflective of how the team approaches and delivers software.
Very well said. Thank you so much for reading it out. What it says is that uh, does everyone understands the team's engineering values and culture? That means this team should have a culture of completing the work, how well they integrate, how well they execute, okay? Or what are the definitions of their work requirement? That means, is the testing properly done? Is there any particular loophole in their development implementation? If there are any issues while they're working, are they following agile properly or not? Are they clear about their execution? When we say are they clear about definitions, that means as a team, are they aware about how they should be developing, how they should be working? Okay, that is important. So basically ensuring that your team knows how to work in a scrum environment, okay, agile environment. Next point is quite important. When we say, the work is done, is it really done? When we say, is it really done, that simply means when we are claiming that this functionality is completed, does it have any bugs? Does it have any incompleted things? Or it is completed properly, right? So there should not be any half-baked cake. There should be all the functionality that should be working absolutely complete and perfect. There should not be anything that is pending. Okay, so that is very important. And next is the team's culture around quality and completion should rise above every user story and engineering work item and bug. The culture is reflective of how the team approaches and delivers software. That simply means, see, don't be I would say, just focus on what is asked and what is minimum, what is bare minimum. No, go beyond that and try to understand holistically what your customer is expecting from you. So yes, completing the functionality, understanding the requirements, completing overall delivery by ensuring what the customer wants is very important. So it's very easy to follow the text and follow the rules and going by the books, but then somewhere we have to understand that what customer really needs, what are their objectives, what is their agenda behind this application. And when you kind of get the background, then as a team also we can focus, we can even give suggestions at times, like for example, if the team is well versed in working on banking application, or if any other new bank comes in and asks for a feature, and and then the team realizes that some of the major features they are missing, they are not focusing, then as a team we can highlight, okay, that we can have this, say for example, very easy to understand, like in a banking application we have payment options, we can integrate other payment options like credit cards. In India we have GPay or things like that. So as a team, when you become so expert, when you become so well in your work, you can even guide your customer at times. Okay, definitely with their approval. It should not come as an arrogance. It should be like a, I would say, additional service. So when as a customer, you feel good. No, when you get without us, you get any assistance, you feel good, right? Okay, we are being valued, we are being taken care of. Same way, as a team, when we give something additional, apart from only delivery, the customer also feels good about it. Yes? Easy to understand, or any doubts in this particular point, guys? Anyone? Yes, no? No, then we can move to next slide, please.
I have to say
Yeah, Gaurav?
something. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like in this last point, you actually give suggestions, right? What can be added, or
See, it's not only about suggestion. It's simply like, for example, I'll give you a very practical example. Okay. It's like if you hire someone to clean your house, okay, maybe for any particular event, you hire a service for cleaning your house, okay, and they do their job, and they go and you pay them. That's a normal scenario. But then if you hire someone to clean your house, and they pinpoint some of the things that, okay, ma'am, there is some leakage in here, we can work on that, or there is some additional cleaning that we can do as a part of our service, or when you're working on any requirement and you come up with something additional, something valuable, that is because of your knowledge or your earlier experience, right? So how nice it sounds when someone gives you something additional or useful, okay? It need not be only superficial, right? So that all comes with experience. So that need not be always suggestion. It can be any advice, it can be any modification, it can be anything, depends on, sorry, my bad, depends on situation to situation. So that kind of scenario I'm talking. And when we have a seasoned team, who is working on the, on in this environment for many years, they get all the experiences, they have the details with them, they can come up with the these kind of things, so the customer actually feels valued. So we are saying, don't only focus on what work is you're doing, but also think about the customers overall well-being from their development point of view. If you could, like for example, I'll give you, like when I was working as a project manager, and there was some additional requirement had come in, and that additional requirement was like, we had to buy a third party subscription from Google, we had to buy some subscription from other companies, and that was costing a bomb, that generally goes in decent amount of dollars. So we advised our customer that we can have similar functionality developed by our team without any subscription amount, but yes, that we will charge them to the project, because we'll have to work extra. So yes, customers were happy. So what we did here, you gave them same functionality, you gave them same service within less amount of money, within less amount of time, and it's a win-win for both of us. Yeah. Did you get the idea behind this?
thank you.
Yeah. Most welcome. So it is basically, engineer work item, bug, anything that whatever we are saying, we should complete without any issues, and we should highlight. And that's what I'm saying, this culture is reflective of how the team approaches and delivers software. So how well we complete our work, how well we deliver, that is all the overall completion idea. Yeah, I think we are almost time. So Gaurav, should we go ahead or should we take a pause here?
Yeah, we can take a pause, Prerna.
Yeah, thank you so much. Over to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So thanks everyone for asking various questions and staying till the end. And this is time for a quick attendance. So today we are going to have the attendance in a very different format. Okay, Jisha, you have some question you want to speak up? You want to type into the chat window? I see your hand raised. That's the reason I'm asking. Okay, you have. So wait, I did not ask anyone to give the attendance now. I just want everyone to give the attendance in a different format. Okay, you have to go to this WhatsApp group. Okay, and here you type in your name, and after typing in your name, if you attended the class, just tell me one word or statement you feel like saying today. Okay, are you feeling connected? You felt confident? You understood? Anything, what do you feel like saying? One word or one statement you feel like saying. Yeah, like just now Anita said, interesting and detailed session on sprint. Okay, fine. And whatever means, whatever you feel like saying, go ahead. I'm personally going to review each and everyone's comment. I'm going to take a note of it. Don't tell what did you learn, tell what you are feeling right now and the level of confidence, and what exactly you are feeling after this attending it. So I would be more interested into that. Okay, and we'll be reviewing everyone's comment and taking your attendance. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up. We'll talk to you again soon tomorrow. Bye bye. Take care and good night. Thank you, everyone. Good night, all.